Proverbs 25:15 says, "By long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone." The lesson of this proverb is summed up in two words: patience and tact. But we first have to take note of the context. This proverb is specific to handling someone in power and having great authority. This isn't about a man named Prince unless he's gained a place of power and authority. It isn't necessarily about someone referred to as a prince of a man, unless, of course, it happens to be the rare case where a good, decent man is also a man of power and authority. This prince could be the son of a king or queen, or he could hold a title of nobility in Europe, where a prince falls somewhere between a duke and a count or earl. Or it could be just a man who is socially in the realm of princes because of the power and authority they hold, riches, wealth, fame. I could name a few obvious examples here in America: Elon Musk, Tim Cook, Warren Buffett, even George Soros. Some good, but most are evil. But there are many lesser known men and women of power and influence who fall into this same category. And if you're trying to persuade such a person, we're told, "By long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone." So when dealing with someone that has power and authority, then patience and tact are keys to persuading them. And so it is then also with people in general. And this wisdom applies in various situations. That's the point. Some well-meaning Christians approach the typical unbeliever with a genuine desire to lead them to Christ, but they want a conversion now. So they get aggressive in their comments, and they end up blowing the whole conversation up. Sadly, a lot of fake so-called soul winners give the false impression that if you just say the right thing and act like a high-pressure salesman, you can push people into conversion. It's a warped and unbiblical practice. You never see Jesus himself or Peter or Paul or the other apostles and disciples acting like that. Speak to people like people. Let them think. Let them ask questions, and be prepared for the long game. Of course, there are times when the unbeliever lashes out and even begins to mock or blaspheme. A sharp response can be called for, and at some point that unbeliever reveals themselves to be a reprobate swine. And Jesus tells us in Matthew 7:6, "Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you." Jesus spent the whole of Matthew 23 rebuking and name-calling and verbally pulverizing the apostate Jews who were coming after him. So that is an option we have to consider at times. But when dealing with someone who seems to be a sincere seeker, who doesn't resort to blasphemy, mockery, intimidation, or even threats, remember the wisdom of this proverb. And the same applies whenever we're just trying to persuade people to do something or to stop doing something. Anytime we're trying to persuade people, just remember that by long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone. That doesn't mean you have to talk baby talk or sound effeminate. It just means that you speak to them in clear, correct, and adult level terms without being overly emotional or trying to manipulate them in some way. It doesn't negate the instruction to rebuke the unrepentant sharply, as we're taught in Titus 1:13, or to mark and avoid those who cause divisions with bad doctrines or heresies, as we're taught to do in Romans 16:17 and Titus 3:10. But when dealing with reasonable people who demonstrate having an ear to hear and a humility to receive the truth, then this proverb is golden. It is wisdom that we need to heed. By long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone.